So in this one regard, I'm a real glass 1/30th full guy instead of glass 29/30th empty.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
I'm an optimist.
Yeah, that's how I describe you.
Put it on my tombstone. But you still get a handful and a good amount of people coming in the November show. And so
maybe do it over the summer, so it's like an outdoor, like a beer garden type place.
I thought we just talked about November.
Well, then it wouldn't be an outdoor beer garden type place. No. I generally don't listen to you talk.
So we need 2 orange popsicles.
And 2 orange creamsicles.
And we have to eat them all, otherwise they're just going to melt onto the table.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
That's a reason to tune in.
Nobody does the on-air frozen item taste tests like the Steve and Kyle podcast. I've been so excited since last week because of this upcoming taste test.
Near disaster before the taste test could even begin.
Yeah, and by I've been excited for the last week, what I mean is I've been excited for the last hour because I had forgotten about it until an hour ago when I sent you a text asking what time you were going to be here.
Yeah.
And you said, I'll be there in about an hour. I got to go drop off the kid.
Yep.
Pick up some creamsicles. And I thought, what's he doing that for? That's weird.
Why would... I mean, are popsicles urgent?
Is that like a
this
church
morning?
Like a church thing or something? Is that your offering this week?
Yeah, I'm going to youth group right when I get done with the podcast, and I'm dropping off creamsicles.
I think that there's no reason for us to do anything else or talk about anything else.
Right.
Before we get into these popsicles and creamsicles. Mainly because they're sitting on our table right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to melt.
So, not a lot of planning took place for this. Literally bought them this morning. Had to go to 2 stores because apparently the creamsicle market on a Sunday morning in West Michigan is hotter than the church market on a Sunday morning in West Michigan.
Should be an indication as to the quality and the demand for the less superior creamsicle.
So what we have is 4 bars with opaque. No, not opaque. What's the what? It's transparent, translucent, and opaque. So these are opaque, Steve.
So you showed up. You bought. I'm figuring you're going to show up with like the little box of like 8 or 10 or 12. No. 24 popsicles, 24 creamsicles. And we open the boxes. There's no defining characteristics. You can barely see through them. The only thing we could tell for sure is that purple was purple.
Yep. And then
because I think there were orange, there were red, there were green, and there were purple.
Yep.
Green, orange, and red somehow all looked exactly the same. So
we were holding them up to your kitchen light.
We took 2 of what we think are orange creamsicles and 2 of what we think are orange popsicles and threw them in a bag and brought them downstairs. But the problem is now they all look exactly the same. We don't know which one's a popsicle, which one's a creamsicle.
There's a good chance this is a red one, Steve.
Okay.
The packaging, not great.
Well, as you know, red is my favorite flavor sometimes. Sometimes yellow is. Sometimes orange is. Ask me tomorrow. It'll be completely different.
So I believe, again, the packaging, not great. The creamsicles just ripped open willy-nilly when we opened the box.
Yeah, most of them were open.
And then, so these are going to be the popsicles, Steve.
Okay.
So do we want to do it? Do we just want to open the top half and shuffle them around so you don't know what you're eating? But now this is, it's probably important. That's a red one.
I'm sorry. Were you trying to come up with rules or anything?
No, I was just trying to say it's probably important to talk about why we're doing this because I don't fully remember outside of you saying you didn't like a creamsicle. But in a twist, you were more than okay with admitting there's a good chance my tastes have changed. I haven't had a creamsicle in 20 years.
It's been years, decades since I had a creamsicle. I never liked them as a kid, but who knows? I might be I might be converted.
Well, I got a red one.
All right, so we're over 2.
Over 2.
Well, hopefully the trend continues and we have 2 red creamsicles.
At this point, there's going to be a grape and a green one there.
Some other's going to be a lemon one.
I'm going to go home with 2 full boxes of orange after we eat all the grape, green, and red ones. So,
this is quality.
This is because
good.
there's a lot to be said about your standard popsicle. It's classic. It's delicious.
Melts in your mouth. Makes that noise.
Like that mushy ice.
That was just unnecessary.
Oh. Whew. So
all right, my teeth are already starting to hurt.
You just want to do half of that? Do you want to? Do you want to eat the whole thing?
Yeah, why would I only eat?
Okay, so we're now at the point, because we don't want this to drag on forever, where we're approaching just full bites of the popsicle.
Now, how do you go? Do you bite it with the molars?
I go front teeth bite.
I do. Yeah, me too. I do. I hold the stick so it's flat, and then I do.
So you're going in horizontal.
Yeah, and then I do top chompers down to stick, pull.
That, you see, because you're not missing anything. I think there's a technique to eating your chicken wings. I think there's a technique to eating your popsicle, Steve. And I think you're right.
And then you're left with that kind of shelf.
Ooh,
then you flip,
and you do the other way. Out. Okay, because I am a top bottom chomper guy.
Oh, bottom too, huh?
Yeah, I go the whole shebang and get the whole popsicle in there at once.
Okay.
Let me try the old molar tactic.
Give it. Oh no.
You what? I mean.
Oh God. No. Oh, that just looks like it hurts.
Yeah. That's just impractical. You're jamming the whole thing. It's rubbing against your face. And you're just ooh. Oh yeah, that's a sweet spot back there.
Changes the taste.
Oh, that one hurts.
Nobody likes
feel that in your teeth.
Now, when you get down to the bottom, I don't know, inch and a half, do you then pull it forward on the stick?
I go lip wrap around the remaining popsicle and pull it.
Yeah.
Because listen, I'm here for the ease of popsicle eating. I'm not here to jam this wood stick 3 inch, touching my uvula.
No. Reminds me of being at the dentist when they stick popsicle sticks in your mouth.
That's right.
That's good.
That's a good popsicle, right?
Man.
Of those 4 popsicle flavors, Steve,
stand the test of time.
Don't they? They haven't had. I mean, now granted, the popsicle industry has changed, right? You've got your juice.
Has it?
You got your juice bars.
Oh yeah, it's all healthy
fruit
now.
Bars, all that stuff.
Yeah, like yogurt bars.
The last meaningful innovation the popsicle industry came out with, the push-up pop,
or the bomb pop.
The bomb pop's pretty good, but it's still a popsicle just with different flavors.
I mean, it's America on a stick, frozen. All right. So there we go.
And we have to do a whole nother one of these?
Yeah. Okay.
Boy, I'm older than I thought. This is...
it's tough work.
Isn't easy. Of course, if I'm sitting at home not trying to entertain the masses.
Entertain the masses, huh?
I enjoy it a little more. I sit back and, maybe enjoy the longevity of the popsicle until it starts dripping on your fingers.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's the worst, right?
Yeah,
that's the worst. Like, as much as I appreciate when I go to an ice cream shop and they load up an ice cream cone or whatever, like, yeah, look at all of it. I immediately hate it because it's a race against time.
Yeah, because you're looking around the bottom.
Yeah. You're making a racetrack around the side to make it a straight cylinder.
Because there's that overhang. The overhang that happens. All right. So what do you think? Think we got 2 more reds?
I think we do, which will actually work out, even though the entire premise was orange creamsicle.
Yeah.
I have a red one.
I'm not entirely positive.
Yeah, what is that? That's a red.
It's like red at the top, but it fades to a light orangish color.
Listen, Steve, we didn't go with the name brand creamsicle today.
We don't even get colors.
You don't even get flavor. You get multicolor.
Okay. So, oh wow, interesting technique. You're getting.
Well, I'm trying to stave off disaster.
Oh wow, already worth it. Okay, hot.
So you still got the popsicle at the top to lock in the cream. So Steve, you're one bite in. I'll give you a minute to digest that and enjoy the intricacies of the popsicle shell,
the flavor explosion,
the cream flavor that combats that. Before I ask for the official decision on where do you now stand as a 38-year-old man on the popsicle versus creamsicle debate.
I hardly taste the cream.
Really?
I taste almost nothing.
Steve, I think I may have gotten another popsicle.
Because you're now a third of the way down.
And there's no cream yet. Did it just jam all out the bottom?
Yeah, it would appear so.
There we go. 4 bites.
You hit pay dirt, finally.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm a creamsicle guy.
I taste more wood from the stick than I do cream. Maybe I just got a bum one.
Want to sweat? Oh, yeah. That nice creamy flavor to combat just the cold ice. Oh.
It really is a thin layer of popsicle on top.
I think that's the problem here. If you can get a little more shell, not necessarily less cream. See, here we go with disaster. Leaking down the wooden stick.
Imagine if you were outside and it was a hot summer day. That thing would be gone.
Yeah, it would.
You'd have that red puddle on the ground. Pathetic.
Looking like a kid. Mm-hmm. Now throwing a tantrum. It's just...
Probably some of it on your shirt.
Red water ice leaks over my hand as I'm screaming, stain around my lips.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I legitimately taste more of the wood stick. I mean, it's not terrible, but...
But now, I'm not buying these. Do you remember when you were a kid? Did you dislike them, or were you just indifferent?
Yeah, I didn't like them.
Really?
Yeah.
But like, let's say,
because I remember somebody tried to convince me that it was like ice cream and a popsicle all in one,
which I think it's supposed to be.
It's just they missed the mark, though.
I think the shell doesn't help. Right? Too much shell, not enough, not enough shell to really separate.
I'd taste the cream even less if there was more shell.
So if right now someone wheeled up a popsicle chest to you, because those exist.
A popsicle chest. Okay.
And they said, hey, this half is a popsicle. This half's creamsicle. Which side?
Popsicle.
You're going straight popsicle.
Popsicle.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it wasn't terrible.
Sure.
But I didn't taste the cream. I didn't taste the ingredient that made it different.
Sure. Okay. Well, that'll be
supposed to make that would be like if somebody offered you a peanut butter and banana sandwich, and it was just all peanut butter.
What is this, Hawaii? Who eats that?
I think Elvis did. That was Elvis's thing.
Oh, is that what? Yeah. Okay. Peanut butter and banana. That's not a terrible.
It probably tastes fine.
It doesn't sound terrible, right?
Flavor, yeah. I mean, both like sweet type of flavors.
Now you're going banana slices on your peanut butter and banana sandwich. You're not shaving it the long way,
like a carrot stick,
like a carrot stick or a plantain.
I guess I don't know. I mean, I've never had one.
Wait, are we doing next week another taste test?
Peanut butter and banana sandwiches?
Actually, is Annette still at the store? We could just have her. She's home. Can Annette bring us lunch like kids?
I'll ask her if we have bananas.
And, crusts off. Are you a diagonal sandwich guy or are you a rectangle sandwich guy?
Well, I don't discriminate. I think when I was a kid, I was triangles. Mm-hmm. Because I remember my mom, she'd be making lunch. What do you want to eat? Peanut butter and jelly in triangles! And I think my sister always got rectangles, but I could have them flipped. I don't remember that well. I just remember whatever I did, my sister did the opposite.
Wonder if that was to help, because was that all peanut butter and jelly for both of you?
Yeah, usually PBJ, back in school lunches.
Because the only reason that would make sense would be if one sandwich was different.
Right.
So that you could differentiate the next morning when packing lunches. Instead, it sounds like your mom was just catering to the whims of a couple of jerk children who demanded their sandwiches cut a certain way.
Yeah. Well, she would always ask us how we wanted them cut. So she was giving us the option.
You bring your lunch to work?
No. Okay, I bring breakfast. I bring breakfast to work. So just because of my time, but my hours. But yeah, I usually eat lunch at home.
You still cut your sandwich?
No.
You don't?
No.
When does that stop? Is that a school lunch thing?
Yeah, I think so, because you're a kid, your hands are smaller, so it's easier to drop stuff. But even still,
it fits in the bag, the Ziploc bag, the same exact way, cut or not. Good God. That's right. Just another interruption. Brought to you by Steve's microphone arm.
I made it 16 minutes.
We're 16 minutes in? Holy God. You know what? For both of us, I apologize. I don't know how we've gone 16 minutes without less than anything. We've rambled about popsicles, popsicle sticks, creamsicles, sandwich cuts.
It is Sunday, July 23rd, 2019. June 23rd, 2019. The year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. All right. All is right with the world. That mic is now secure.
I guess
Mike is not going to fall apart.
I don't understand the cutting of the sandwich, even at a young age.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, small hands, and it's easy, but man, we're not talking about a cinder block.
Mm-mm.
We're talking about
a piece of bread.
A rectangle sandwich that fits in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a uniquely kid thing.
I think I'm going to start my son off right when he starts going to school. Of course, I'm not going to force him to do that either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to cut his sandwich. Yeah, no, it's optional. So I don't think I'm going to make him. I don't think I'm going to cut his sandwiches.
So in young Reed, he's in third grade.
Yep.
Sitting at the lunch table with all of his fellow third grade buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing Pokemon or whatever
on their new tablets,
whatever the kids are doing in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Little Billy pulls out a PBJ, rectangles. Mm-hmm. Susie pulls out a bologna sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Kids probably still don't eat bologna sandwiches, do they?
Am I the last one who likes bologna?
You're team bologna.
I am. Oh boy, my team bologna. I love it.
God is my witness. I've never eaten a bologna sandwich.
What?
Never.
Okay. I don't want to hear any trials and tribulations of Steve growing up. Guy never had bologna.
I don't think I've ever had bologna.
Oh, mister. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. There's so much to unpack here because we now have like 4 poll questions possibly. Should we just throw them all up?
Like Levitar style?
Yeah. Are we doing popsicle or creamsicle? We got to do sandwich cut, rectangular, diagonal.
Yeah.
Team bologna, no team bologna.
Now, okay, bologna. Now, when you go to the store, are you getting like the Oscar Mayer?
Yeah.
So you're not going to the deli and getting the fresh. Can you get fresh sliced bologna?
Can you get deli bologna?
No, because bologna is basically just the trimmings. It's basically the hot dog of lunch meat, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's all like the hooves and the like antlers and stuff, and then they just grind them down, stick some paste in there, and paint it pink.
No, I just typed deli bologna, looking to see if that was an option anywhere, and it sounds like at Kroger, which is like a top 3 national chain,
huge.
Right?
Yeah, mostly, I think like the southern half of the country, right?
Not only can you buy deli bologna, they have, by my count, 4 to 5 varieties of deli bologna. So you can go right now to Kroger and get a deli bologna quarter stick. So they're not even giving you weight. They're getting the tube of bologna, and you're getting a quarter, you're getting a half, or you're getting a full.
So you got to buy it by the gross.
Yeah.
Basically. Very apt.
And then they have deli jumbo bologna. Then they have garlic bologna.
Oh, God.
And beef bologna. So, Steve, are you down for a little road trip next week so we can come back next Sunday and have all the fixins for a bologna smorgasbord live on this podcast?
All the fixins, meaning bologna.
No, I mean jumbo bologna. And then I mean garlic bologna.
What is it? Hold on. Jumbo bologna, that's a variety? That's a flavor?
The bologna stick
would you like
just appears to be a little bit larger.
Would you like garlic or jumbo garlic?
So the ingredients listed are pork, beef, mechanically separated turkey, mechanically separated chicken, water, corn syrup, and then a bunch of, the nonsense that nobody knows. Dextrose, which is a sugar, yeast, paprika, flavorings. That's the part that they always lose me on because it's just vague.
Yeah.
But you and I are the same way that people, how can you eat that hot dog? How can you eat, this or that? Here, watch this video.
Is bologna the same as a hot dog? Just differently shaped?
How was bologna made?
Oh, I don't want to know. No, I don't want to know that.
What is bologna made of, and how did it get its name, Steve? This is from the Journal Times.
It's a very reputable source.
Well, that's Journal Times. Shouldn't it be one or the other? Like a noun or a descriptor for the Journal or the Times.
Yeah, where do you work? I work at the Gazette Herald.
Oh, yeah, okay. Whitelist the website. The Journal Times. Yeah, no thank you. Cooked smoked sausage made of cured beef, cured pork. Bologna is covered in natural casing made from the gastrointestinal tracts of cattle, sheep, or hogs. But that's what happens.
I know that's right? What it is, but...
Or it's put in a synthetic casing. It doesn't seem like it's hot dog-esque, because the big knock against hot dogs, isn't it, that it is, it's just the leftovers, and then they throw hooves in there to really hold it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that doesn't bother me, because I've always said as long as it tastes delicious, I'm okay with it. And yeah, I am team bologna. Steve, I feel like you would be team bologna.
Whether you call it a Frankfurter, hot dog, wiener, or bologna, it's a cooked sausage and a year-round favorite. That's from the USDA. So it's the same.
So if you and if we went upstairs right now with a pack of bologna, fired up your grill, slapped a few slices of bologna on there.
And flipped them every now and then.
Yep. Rolled them into a tube.
It would taste exactly the same.
Put it in a bun.
Put some ketchup or mustard or relish.
Yeah, a little bit of the fixins.
Yeah, maybe a little cheese. I like putting cheese on there, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bologna and cheese sandwich.
Ugh, that just sounds... no. It's like a cold hot dog. Nobody wants a cold hot dog.
Meat can be made of beef, chicken, or pork. I think that's why I had the beef bologna option on the Kroger, or some combination of the three. Now I'm in. Give me a chicken, beef, pork, bologna combo. Give me all the animals. Cooked and smoked. Often removed. The casings are often removed before the products are sold. One of America's favorite sandwich fillings. Boy, how does that list go?
I do not believe that.
You don't think bologna's a top 5 in terms of sales and use? Like, you don't think bologna's in the top tier?
Can I go to Jimmy John's and get a sandwich with bologna?
Is it on one of them?
I don't think so.
I would bet
because they'd have to call. You know how they have like the Pepe and the Vito and the Turkey Tom. They'd just have to call it like the poverty roll, because it would just have bologna and like relish.
I have here the official list of the 5 most popular deli meats for sandwiches, Steve. The 5 most popular. This is published last year, May 2018. Would you like to guess? Now, I think we can all guess what number 1 and 2 are going to be.
Turkey ham.
Just pick your order, right? Now, I'm a ham guy.
I would think that turkey's probably a little... I like them. I like them both. I usually lean more towards turkey, but I like a good ham sandwich.
Turkey is number 1, Steve. Okay. The best meat for sandwiches is turkey. Number 2 is ham. Number 3, this is where we start getting a little bit interesting. Beef.
Okay, so like roast,
like a roast beef. You have like maybe some dried beef as well in there.
All right.
Deli beef is sliced thin from the silver side cut, which we all know. It's the cow's upper hip.
Yeah. Number
4, chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a deli chicken guy.
Oh, I love it.
Like like the meat.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it. Yeah, a lot of times, like I'll usually have a turkey and cheese sandwich each day when I get home for lunch. But every now and then, spice it up a bit. Do chicken breast, like sliced chicken breast.
Right.
Ooh, so good.
And number 5, Stephen, my personal favorite, salami.
Kind of an underdog.
It doesn't get the respect it deserves, really.
Does not.
But that's, I mean, going back to your example of the sub shop, that's probably on 3 or 4 of their sandwiches
it's a staple on an Italian.
The Vito, the whatever, the nightclub.
I get the Vito every time. I had a Vito yesterday.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
we stopped at Jimmy John's on the way home.
Wow. Yeah, that appears to be the official ranking.
It's definitely on the Vito. I know it's on the Italian nightclub, which is another favorite.
We're going to go through the 30 best and worst packaged deli meats. We're not going to go through all 30.
We'll just peruse the top 25.
This is number 1, oven roasted turkey. Number 2, honey baked ham.
What are we doing?
Number
here?
3, turkey. Number 4, ham.
27 minutes in.
Number 5 on the Eat This blog, eatthis.com. Number 5, bologna.
Now, you're going to the store and you're buying the one. If I close my eyes and I picture bologna, it's the Oscar Mayer packaging,
precisely,
like the yellow with the red writing.
Yep.
You're gonna have to bring some of that next week.
Are we doing bologna sandwiches on the podcast next week?
We're at least doing bologna taste test.
Because now here, when I was a kid,
because in theory I can roll up bologna, put ketchup on it, stick it in a bun, and it's going to taste just like a hot dog.
Yeah. What I used to do when I was a kid, if I didn't want a sandwich, I would do exactly that for like a snack when I was just like running by the fridge, and I would take a piece of bologna out of the package, put a pattern of ketchup on it, fold it in half, and just eat it. It's so good.
All right. You're going to have to do that next week.
Oh, man. I can't keep grocery shopping for this.
That's right. It's a tax write-off. I mean, you did spend upwards of $6 today for 48 popsicles. That means 8 popsicles for $1? Yeah. That's 12.5 cents a popsicle. That's bargain hunting.
Why aren't we opening a truck or whatever, or even a cart? We'll just push it down the block. We're going to sell 2 things and we made a profit. We load up on popsicles. We load up on all the, expensive cookie bars and things like that.
I think we have to upcharge for the creamsicle.
Oh, there's no question we're going an extra quarter or 50 cents. So I figure we sell a popsicle for $1.99.
Okay. Creamsicle
we go
for like $8.
Now we're talking. So that's where we make it back, right?
All we need is that stupid ice cream truck song.
Yeah, just play it off your phone. Yeah, and we don't want to invest fully, so we're not going to get an ice cream truck or a van or anything like that.
No.
We're just going to go borrow somebody's trailer.
The ice cream Jeep is here.
You'll have the Constitution tires off or whatever you do to make that thing more accessible.
That's the Freedom panels.
Oh, sorry.
Freedom panels are currently off right now. It made for a very cold ride to Lowe's this morning.
What's the process like? You know what? Sorry, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we're talking beef.
We're getting hard into deli meats right now as our A bit this morning. When we lay out, the structure of this podcast that we do every week, Steve. You and I, we sit down and we got our bullet points about how we're going to get into everything, and then usually it's by minute 8, we got to be talking baloney by minute... And by minute 16, we transition to the Declaration of Independence mirrors or whatever other parts you have.
No, they're just called mirrors.
So we're like 13 minutes behind, but we need to wrap up properly the deli meat discussion. Okay. So I need to ask, how do we want to do the polls? Do we want to do a string of polls this week?
I think so. I think we go Le Batard style.
So currently, and because this is a legitimate problem for me at least.
I think we post them now too.
Okay.
Post them now. Have them up for a week.
Popsicle or creamsicle?
All right. So are you doing?
I'm just writing them down for now, and then I'll do them right after. Popsicle or creamsicle. The second one we discussed was rectangle or triangle sandwich cuts.
Yep.
Now I hope everybody appreciates this because we are burning through weeks of content.
And then we have something
Team
about
bologna. Yes or do we do bologna? Yes or no?
What we could do is bologna the same as a hot dog. Yes or no?
Yeah, but I think we're in agreement there. I'm okay with calling it that.
Yeah, we have, for once, we've joined forces.
I just want to know if was I then and am I still now that poor kid with dirty feet who eats bologna?
I think when you added the layer of ketchup, that's what. Yeah.
So you want this taste test next week?
You've gone to the poor side.
Are we just doing?
Did you have dirt floors? Take that as a maybe.
Yeah, they're flat in my memory.
That's why they're called a mud room.
Because this bologna taste test, are we doing it with ketchup? Because I'll tell you what, I've gone through phases in my life.
I think that you have to be true to your young self.
Oh, I'm going to love it. I'm not worried about me. It's delicious. I had a bologna sandwich weeks ago.
Now, would you put it on like Wonder Bread, like white?
Oh, yeah.
Back
white
in the
bread?
day.
Oh, yeah.
You still do white bread?
Yeah. Okay. I haven't upgraded to the multigrain. Although the pounds are packing on. I think we're going to have to switch to...
I love the multigrain. The more...
I don't like chewing on an oat.
The more like oats and grass that's stuck to the side of it, the better.
What are you, a rabbit?
I love it. I just do.
Just go grab your white bread and go slap it around in the dirt for a second.
That's just silly. It's just stupid.
We're not adding that to the poll this week.
We're
not adding white bread or multigrain bread to the poll this week. We have to save something for future episodes.
So we're doing next week. It is bologna and ketchup sandwiches on white bread on Wonder Bread.
Yeah, your standard white bread. I don't even know if it'll be Wonder. It's going to be whatever.
I think it's got to be Wonder.
It's going to be whatever's 99 cents at the grocery store.
Can I just buy 4 slices of this?
Yeah, you guys got any half eaten, half offs?
Got any day old? Maybe something like a squirrel got into on the truck.
Now, that's what we do. I go to Jimmy John's. I get us a loaf of day old.
There you go.
We slice it down the middle, pack that sucker with bologna, and we eat it like Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, God. So much of that sounds disgusting. Is there going to be ketchup on it?
Listen, you have to try bologna and ketchup. And conversely, because I've gone through phases in my life, Steve, you have to try bologna and mustard as well.
Oh, I hate mustard.
You hate mustard?
I hate it.
Oh, boy.
I hate mustard, but I love honey mustard.
Really?
Yeah. I hate your standard yellow mustard.
Where do you stand on the Dijon, the gray mustard? You're not okay with that either? A spicy mustard?
No.
You just don't like the French's yellow mustard?
I don't like the yellow mustard
at all. Anything?
No.
Hamburger, hot dog, nothing.
No, I'll deal with it. Like if I go to McDonald's or something and
I slap it on as a standard, right?
I'm fine with that. Because usually the ketchup is enough to
overpower it,
wash out the taste.
But you're okay with ketchup.
Love ketchup.
You're not willing to sit here and call that, the poor person's condiment.
No, not at all.
Where do you think ketchup stands in the condiment rankings?
Oh, ketchup is a far and away number one.
I think it's a tier 1 number 1. Yeah. I personally, I put mustard number 2.
Even though I don't like mustard, mustard's definitely number 2.
Right. So your tier 1's ketchup mustard.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking, are we going just straight liquid base? So we're not including relish and things like that and onion. I think if you're calling it a condiment, you've got your barbecue sauce, you've got your mayonnaise.
Yeah, barbecue sauce is a top tier 2.
I think barbecue sauce is a tier 2. Where you're going to lose a lot of people is if you include a mayonnaise in your tier 2. Is mayonnaise the most divisive condiment?
Mayonnaise might be a tier 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I like a mayonnaise on a sandwich. I'll go to your sub shop. I'll always get mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I like a mayonnaise on a hamburger. That's not bad. That's a Wendy's thing.
Yeah.
Where do you place mayonnaise above a ranch dressing?
Oh boy, I don't know. What about an aioli?
I like an aioli. Yeah. I like because you can get those specialty aiolis on a burger, on a sub, whatever.
We got a recipe for one. Just like a couple ingredients. It was from when we were doing a Blue Apron, the food delivery service, and they had one in there that was incredible. So we just bought the ingredients and we made it ourselves a bunch of times.
Pass that along
for put it on burgers. Oh my good God!
Want to pass that along?
Yeah, no problem. Got you covered.
Because I love doing it this way now. Like my hot takes, I like to put things in tiers now too. I don't know if you saw I unleashed one this week that had tiers.
I don't think I saw it.
Bacon as a pizza topping is a tier 2, borderline tier 3 topping.
Boy, I haven't gotten bacon on a pizza in years.
Right? And again, this thing just blew apart the internet. The internet's in shambles after this take.
But a lot of that, it depends on the bacon too. I mean, if it's a good, fully cooked, crispy bacon,
sure,
it's pretty good.
But it's usually not on your pizza, and it's kind of rubbery, and that's the problem. You need the crispy crunch.
Yeah, I don't like bacon unless it is crispy. It's gotta be crispy.
And I think that's more if you go to your national chains, you're going to get that rubbery bacon. Now, if you go to the mom and pop, you're very likely that they're going to be crisping that bacon themselves, chopping it up, and not just dumping it from a bag onto the pizza through the standard oven. And I ranked pepperoni sausage as my tier 1.
Yeah.
And my tier 2, black olives.
Oh, see, I don't like black olives.
And ham.
And that's a big fan of
or
black
bacon.
Olives. What about... See, I like sausage and green peppers.
See, and I'm not a pepper guy. Okay. But that's why I'm saying I think bacon is tier 2, tier 3, because while I might value a black olive more than you do, you value a green pepper more than that. So I think we can both agree, though, the the bacon on a pizza, overrated. And I love bacon.
I love bacon too. I agree with you. I would say tier 2. I don't think I'd let it drop to tier 3.
I am getting way too much agreement on my hot takes lately.
From me?
No, just from the general public.
Oh, is it starting to throw you off?
I think I might retire.
You have to throw something out there that nobody will agree with. Like that Lee Harvey Oswald was a good man.
Whoa, who would say that?
Just had a rough day.
Who would say that? It feels way out of line. Yeah, agree. That's from our friend the town drunk. Zach, so that's the best take to date. Mitchell. This I can get behind, but I'm still fighting with Mitchell, and we'll get into that here in a second when we talk about the poll results from this last week. Stan the Movie Man cannot argue with this. Nikki, I agree with you.
Wow, Nikki usually disagrees with everything we say.
Oh, because Nikki's food choices are horrific.
Nikki didn't like the cannoli in
Hates
Boston.
Cannoli. There was something else. Oh, she's anti-olive. You agree with her on that.
Yeah, screw that.
But she's I believe, anti-pickle as well.
Garbage.
You don't like a pickle?
No, I hate a pickle.
Oh, man.
Nikki, we are united in our hatred for pickles and olives.
And our new friend Dan Scheich, who is binging the podcast from episode 1. We read his email last week.
Yeah, where are we at now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I should follow up.
Because he was what,
He was 26 in.
Okay.
He was in January of 2018.
So
black olives are
knocked out another 10 of them.
Yeah, maybe I'll tweet at him. I'll get an update where he's at. Black olives are like dropping sheep S on a pie. You're out of line. So
that is a strong take.
Yeah. Apparently, our newest listener is also very aggressive. Dan, but Dan is much more popular than me. He has more than 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Oh, how many do you have?
Yeah.
How many do you have?
Let me look right now.
I think we have almost 1,400.
Yeah, I'm over 700. 711 followers. So you know what? I was just thinking while we're talking about Dan again. We read his email last week. If you didn't hear, Dan Scheich. I don't know how he said he got into it, but he has started to listen to the podcast from episode 1.
Yes.
And so for me, it's kind of interesting to be able to go back and hear those thoughts about what we were talking about. And that's how we brought back 2 minutes of awkward conversation.
What was going on in our lives back then?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
I feel like
I wasn't married yet. You weren't a father
just
yet.
moved in.
Yeah. Wow. What?
With Annette in the first house. That's what he had said.
Oh, that's right. Well, because we moved in together I moved in there in April of, oh, man, I don't even know. My years are getting all, because
Must have been 2016.
We met in 14. I moved in there. We started dating in 14. I moved in there in 15.
Okay, so it was. Okay, so then it must have been.
We started the podcast in 16.
Yeah, so maybe you didn't just move in. Maybe it was that you were just engaged.
Yeah, we had just gotten engaged.
But yeah, I almost feel like we should get Dan on the phone to check in every few weeks. Hey, Dan, where are you at? What were we doing?
What's the stupidest thing we said last week?
Yeah, and what stood out to you about the dumbest things we had to say on the most recent episode you listened to?
Yeah, because he gave great rundowns, great breakdowns of everything we had talked about.
Yeah, let me see what he had said. Episode 26, shortly after Inauguration Day 2016. Kyle, I was doing the whole 30. Steve, you were recently engaged to the studio landlord and you had already moved into her house. Okay.
Yeah.
You were making a joke of getting married. Yep. Showing up on a shared calendar. Okay. I think we need to do that. Maybe next week we can check in with Dan, see where he's at, see what was going on back in, episode 45 of our lives. Because like we talked about, he's about to endure that stretch of summer. Because if he's at 26, he's pretty close.
The devastation is right around the corner.
He's pretty close to my Achilles being torn. After about 6 weeks of talking about softball and preparing for softball and doing practices.
And what was it, 3 pitches?
Three pitches in or 2 pitches in, something like that. And my Achilles ruptured down to the bone, folded up like a curtain shade, like a window shade, and just felt it. It's like one of those.
And because at that field, the parking lot couldn't be geographically further from the field. Did you hop all the way there on 1 foot?
Yeah, I got about halfway through and I was so physically exhausted. Like I was sweating. One of our old teammate, Steve, big tall Steve, ended up coming and like carrying me the rest of the way because I had to stop and take a break. But every time I took a break, like I started feeling this swelling, horrible pain in my foot.
On your hop to the parking lot, were you still turning around and cheering for the team?
Oh, no. No, we got blown out that game anyway.
Did we? Was that the game that we played the team with like that massive lumberjack that would just hit bombs over the freeway in left field?
Yeah, we played them later in the year, and there was a home run hit to the median of the 5-lane highway behind the park.
Yeah.
So that was
over the fence and then over like the netting, the 30-foot tall netting that they put up,
and then 2 or 3 lanes of traffic into the middle of this this very busy road.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll check in with Dan, see where he's at on the podcast re-listen. If you're doing that, because
you're not going to hear us.
Yeah, but I want to know, like, if you guys like,
this is going to be weird for Dan in like 8 months when he gets to this episode and hears us talking about him. But Dan, it's June. It's only June 23rd. Catch up, man.
I wanted to mention this, and I'm glad that little note came about because I like it when people kind of get somebody else into this podcast. I don't know how you do it because it seems ridiculous because why would anybody listen to this?
Hey, coworker Doug.
Yeah.
You looking for a new podcast? Because I got this podcast where these guys take 15 minutes to eat popsicles. Then they talk about baloney for a while.
Yeah, and next thing you know, holy crap, we're 43 minutes in.
By the way, Doug, which way do you cut your sandwiches? Are there any other options, by the way? Other than rectangle, triangle? I mean,
I guess anybody does a third?
I guess you could go quads.
You think so? I bet you sandwich squares is a thing.
Yeah.
Should we put an other on the poll?
Yeah, and then give them the option to add their own.
Yeah, add your own the comment. If you do squares, stop listening. I'm not interested in your discussion, in your opinion anymore.
Yeah, I think sandwich squares could be fun. It would make you feel like you're at a fancy dinner party.
Oh my god. Yeah. Bologna and Wonder Bread cut into squares. That's the difference between, as you described it, dirt floors and now fancy dinner party. One extra cut? That's where we're at?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What's the most desirable of those 4 cuts? Because you have, really
everyone's a corner. Everyone loves corners.
Yeah, but if it's the standard slice of bread, you've got the arch on the top. Yeah. Or do you prefer the 90-degree angle of the bottoms?
Man.
Yeah, we'll throw it on the poll.
Probably the 90-degree angle.
You prefer the 90?
I think you're getting more sandwich for your buck there.
See, because the risk becomes when you start taking the arch. How did they make the sandwich? Did they go over the edge so to make sure those arches are filled with meat? Or are those just going to be chomps of bread and you're getting less meat than if you had gone down to the 90-degree corners?
See, in my head, I'm not even thinking meat. I'm thinking PBJ, where every square inch is covered.
So again, this fancy dinner party is squares of peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah.
Get away from me, shrimp cart guy. Bring those PB&J quads over here. I'm feeling fancy tonight.
Send Leroy over with the PBJs. Because you know that the butler carrying the sandwiches, the PBJs, he's not like Jeeves.
No.
Sir Walter.
Right. But we digress. We got this note this week from our friend Trevor in Nashville. Now, Trevor has volunteered happily to take the Kyle Fathead at the Nashville show. I believe that's next month. Which, by the way, Green Bay, thanks for coming out in droves.
Yeah, Green Bay, come on. We still got like 2 days to get this thing to you. We need you. Well, actually, by the time this comes out, there's
no chance.
There's no chance.
I would need to get somebody to volunteer on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Scott would have to mail it Tuesday.
Yeah.
2-day priority to have it there by Thursday.
If you are listening to this on Tuesday, June 25th, the earliest time it could possibly be is like 7:48 in the morning Eastern time. If you happen to be hearing this right now, send us a text, 424-30-SK-POD. That's 424-307-5763. Send us the text just saying, what address do I need to send it to? Mm-hmm. And then immediately get in your car and start driving to the post office. Have a Sharpie with you.
Yeah.
By the time you get there, we'll send you an address. And then you have to overnight it.
Listen, it's not going to be cheap. You're going to get some looks.
Yeah.
They're going to wonder why this image of a guy's face needs to be overnighted. Mm-hmm. But that's the only possible way. I'll be invading Green Bay with you next Friday, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kyle Invades tour has turned into the Kyle Invades Portland, Maine for weeks at a time vacation.
And in fairness, our fault.
Yeah.
Stephen Gardner, happy to hold it at the last live show.
In Jersey.
Never sent it up.
Oops.
And we've missed a show even outside of that, I believe.
There was Battle Creek.
Done. Didn't even look at it.
The good news is, loyal podcast listener Timmy
has been making
the creator of the Steve and Pyle Codpast has taken it upon himself to come to every live show this year. I think the only one he missed, he didn't go to Portland, he didn't go to Nashville, but I'm pretty sure he's been at every other one.
Wow.
And we've had like a dozen of them.
God.
So he'll be in Green Bay, no doubt in the front row, front and center.
Yep.
With your fathead. But we want it to be more organic.
Yeah. Yeah. Now listen, we appreciate it. And Timmy's got a variety of them. So if you're there and you're willing.
Timmy has spent so much money.
Yeah. If you're willing to hold one of the fatheads, I believe he has a handful. Just go on up to Timmy. You can't miss him. Again, He'll be holding an image of my face. It's impossible to miss. And ask if he has another.
Like, if Timmy goes like to the bar to get a drink, he will walk holding your head next to his head.
He's like a tour guide at one of like
exactly
at like a traveler at a destination.
Exactly.
So it's like, hey, Washington D.C., and you can find a group by
follow
a lady.
The stick with the rainbow scarf.
Yeah, but Timmy, he's got the Kyle Army, which is usually just him, and nobody's following him. Everybody's looking at him weird.
We need a Kyle Army. We need a Kyle Army T-shirt.
Well, so far it's one person in Portland.
Who?
Scott.
Oh, the guy. Yeah, the guy.
Scott held it in Portland. That's the Kyle Army. Yeah, boy, a Kyle Army and a Steve Army.
Yeah,
and those are pretty simple. Zach,
the Carmy and the Sarmy.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to run out of room with Kyle Army and Steve Army, so I'm glad we're paring that down.
Shortening them.
Yeah, Zach, that's a quick design. Philip, Don't even know why I mention it anymore.
Are you still with us, Philip? Do you still listen?
Are you still there? Philip, if you listen, send a smoke signal.
Philip, if you listen, send us a design for Steve and Kyle Nature Camp.
Philip, if you still listen, blink twice. But we digress. Our friend Trevor in Nashville, Steve, sent this note on Twitter this week. And this, if anything describes the show more aptly, I don't know what does. Because he wrote this in, but hey, Kyle, I got a new listener hooked on the Steve and Kyle show. Awesome. That's great. Fantastic Love news. It. Thank you. All we ask for, outside of buying the stupid merch we hawk, is when you see this episode posted every Tuesday, if you can, throw it a retweet, share it, whatever. Mm-hmm. It all helps, right?
Those Follow Fridays.
Yeah. Should we start a Follow Friday?
No, I want someone to start it for us.
I don't want to do that.
I want someone to talk about how great we are.
But he said he doesn't care for your voice.
Okay. So he's pro Steve and Kyle, but anti Kyle's voice.
It seems at this point he's just pro Steve.
I mean, I didn't want to say it.
So
how about, can you do like a nutty voice?
Hey. So I suggest...
That'll get him on board.
So Trevor, our dear friend, problem solving, says, I suggested he listen to it at 1.5 speed.
Okay.
That way, he hears less of you. Personally, I enjoy both of you. But at least you got half a listener, right?
I've never done the whole listen at...
I think it's for me, it's insufferable. It changes the way, especially with a show like this, where we really, Steve, you and I, really rely on comedic timing.
I guess I should probably subscribe to our podcast.
Oh, for God's sake. Download a week we could have for free.
Hold on. What is it called? The Steve Austin Show.
Ooh, he's back. By the way, have you been hearing Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast is back? You been listening?
No, I didn't know he had one. A, and Steve, it went away. B.
Steve, just assume if anybody has had a modicum of fame or celebrity in this world, that yes, they now have a podcast because that's the way this world has worked. They're pinching out the seasoned vets like me, so they can go listen to Dak Shepard.
Oh, armchair expert?
Opine from his recliner. Just go act, man. For God's sake, we make $0 on this. Could you leave one avenue for the rest of us?
I don't think he makes any dollars off of his, though.
Oh, they all do.
No, they don't.
I think they all have massive amounts of ads.
Yeah, but even those, you don't...
Conan O'Brien, talk show.
All right, hold on. I want to listen to us at...
What do we got? Oh, 1.5 speed?
Yeah.
See how we sound?
All right, so that's 2 times.
Field day shirt from last year. Yeah, doesn't quite fit right. No, and then the medal he got from the classroom spelling bee the day before. Oh, I'm getting
One-Eared Herman.
If you're listening, I'd love to hear. I'd love to see the adventures of One-Eared Herman. So remember, he's got a field day shirt on, a spelling bee medal, Dickens era horn up to his ear. He's sitting at his little desk that's on a turntable, and young Kyle, a couple rows over, is yelling, and his little speech bubble just says yuck yuck yuck.
This is hilarious.
Everyone else just stone-faced silence. Yep, that's the only way to do it. So, yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's just depressing when you realize that your jokes are making, I'm making one person laugh. Mm-hmm. So in this one regard, and it does seem very odd because I'm not this way, I'm a real glass 1/30th full guy instead of glass 29.
God, I just heard this.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
All right, so let's back it off to... Let's back it off to half speed.
Trevor's friend is right.
Class was always 1/30th full.
Did you just pull up the Lost episode?
Sunday, June 16th, 29.
No, the Lost episode would be us just going, you know what I always say. I want to go back.
I have a Simpsons laugh in the Lost episode.
I want to go back and listen to that.
Oh, God, nobody does.
Even though it's the worst.
It is the worst. I am offended that we released it.
No, we never did. We
released it in cuts, right?
Yeah, we did. I think we did like 10 individual clips.
Oh.
Maybe for the 1,000th episode. in, let's see, that'll take another like 18 years or so.
Yeah, safe to assume we're not going to make it there.
What do you think will end this podcast?
Well, I was pretty hell-bent on 149. Blown past that.
What do you think?
I still think by the time the holidays roll around this year, I think this podcast will be done.
Really?
That's my guess.
So we got 5.5 months?
That's,
6 months?
At most.
Why do you say that? Because, let's see, Christmas is 6 months from the day this episode is getting released.
Sure, yeah, right?
So we're on the downswing.
Yeah, we're on the, we're on the home stretch.
24, 25 episodes left.
Yep.
So we're going to make it just shy of 180. That's respectable.
That's a really good run.
Doesn't get you in syndication, though. Isn't it usually 200 episodes?
No, it's 100.
Is it?
Yeah, it's usually 100, but they have to be okay or highly rated or listened to or well done or well regarded.
Yeah.
Any sense of...
We'll fix it in post.
Fame and...
So you think Christmas?
By Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're done.
The stress of our growing families?
I think once we add your baby daughter in, I think while our schedules are okay the way it works now, you start adding anything in around the holidays. Well, I can't do this. Well, then the next thing you know, I can't do it the following day.
Holidays are already difficult enough for us getting best of shows together.
Sure.
Travel, the holidays in general.
Yep.
Work schedules being weird. This year, obviously, going to be a lot different for me and Annette. I don't see it dying, though.
Listen,
I see
when we talked about it,
maybe a hiatus.
Oh, we're never coming back.
I love my Sunday mornings without recording.
I feel like while it was a joke around episode 148, that was about 4 or 5 weeks ago, we talked about that, not coming back the next week. I have a feeling that we may be done. Now it will be it'll be easier than we think now while Annette is off of work because there's less worry about obviously who is with the daughter for a few hours.
Maybe we do a baby episode.
I'm telling you, it's not going to work.
I think that would be hilarious.
What, we're right to stop every 3 minutes?
Yes.
And quiet one of our two children?
I think it'll be great.
Well,
we both have our little boppies or boopsies or bouncies or whatever the hell they're called. And, Reed he'll be a year in October.
Yep.
So he's ready to babysit my 1-month-old daughter. Right?
No question.
They soothe each other.
Listen, any day now he's going to stop pulling the dog water bowl over on himself and ruining pairs of shorts and pants. So I feel like the next step is babysitting. I don't know. Because I don't want it to end. I'm just saying that has been in the back of my mind that I feel like it's going to be degrees more difficult.
See, I kind of feel like this is your subtle way of...
I want to quit.
Blaming me.
Oh, yeah, it's your kid doing it.
For the podcast ending.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey.
Because then you're going to be able to say, like,
we lasted through my kid.
Had our baby and sailed on through.
Didn't even miss a week. Dropped him off every week, Katie's work and to record, but Steve has one kid. Life's upside down. How can I make this work? Podcast.
You know something? Not only is this podcast not going to end, I'm going to double down. We're doing 2 episodes a week.
See, now you have my attention because now I'm seeing. Now I'm like a cartoon character with money signs in his eyes.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference.
Look at all the money we've made. Imagine if we were making double of this.
Right? Listen, we're down another $6 today. I got 44 popsicles left.
You're going to eat one before you leave, right?
I'll eat one on the way home.
So your prediction is that the podcast does not survive the next 6 months.
Yep. Huh. Yep. I don't know if we make it out of the year, Steve. I really don't.
So will we do a year in review? Like, say we die at Thanksgiving.
I mean, if you want to put it together, I'm not coming over for that.
I'll just go through and dig up voiceovers from last year.
Yeah, and just like cobble words together. It's the
it's
audio.
Been, good year podcast.
It's the audio equivalent of when somebody writes a ransom note by cutting letters out of magazines. All different letters or all different, audio lengths.
So I just got a text from my wife. Saying, when do we get to eat popsicles? She doesn't know that we've already done the popsicle taste test.
You want to do it on?
We'll probably trick her into bringing popsicles down.
Do you want 2 more popsicles?
I want at least 1 more.
How are we going to explain the open box? I
don't know. How are we going to explain all of the open popsicle wrappers? No, I mean the ones like in the boxes.
Well, those weren't us. That's the crappy generic
we
brand.
Can just be like,
Yeah, hell, we hope we took these on. There weren't any popsicles in them. Can you believe it?
You know that store.
Just a couple of sticks. Before we do that, we tease this. And
I'm, by the way, so jealous. Every time you grab onto your microphone
and move it.
And
And I don't do it where I have to take care of it. I usually grab it by the windsock. Occasionally I'll grab it by the arm and adjust it. Because I move more than you, but I think that's partially because you have to sit where you are.
I haven't touched this microphone in a year.
I mean, I wrench on this thing, too. Like, I pull it towards me, pull it up. It's got a little lean to it. Hasn't fallen once. Love it.
I think this might be the week that I build the new table for down here.
Yeah.
Finally had enough. Just gonna.
Yep. This was the week, Steve, that I nearly quit the podcast altogether.
Oh, no.
Because I feel like I'm talking to not just one, but an audience full of dickheads. That's the only way.
I'm glad that was subtle.
Listen, I was trying to think of a way to dance around it.
Okay. So why is our audience, as you say, a bunch of dickheads?
Well, Steve, with about 280 total votes, would you attend a neighborhood or cul-de-sac movie night? Which, again, is just the worst thing ever. It's just...
Boy, do I...
Oh, God, I can't wait to lay on the horn so, E.T. night is ruined. The one night out of the summer that wind or rain or heat or anything else didn't ruin it. My car horn is going to do the job.
By the way, I got another neighborhood update that we'll get to.
And me too. But with 280 votes, 65% of you mongrels would attend
Hell yeah.
a neighborhood cul-de-sac movie night. So I'm sorry, when I said a, quote, bunch of dickheads, I mean 65% of you, because the 35% who agreed with me, thank you. Thank you so much. And now some of the people who agreed with you, our friend Jake agreed with you.
Of course.
But again,
Jake's a smart man.
Our dear friend Nikki Constantine.
Smartest neck cracker I know.
Our dear friend Nikki Constantine, Team Kyle on this. But I got legitimately frustrated because I posted this poll, and after like a minute to a few minutes, there was like 5 votes. It was 80-20 my way.
The funny thing is, I was actually on Facebook and saw it pop up, and it said it posted. You know how it'll tell you how long ago it was posted? It had said just now, and I immediately clicked yes, and we shot to 100%, and I was like, ha! We are gonna kill him. And then like within 1 minute, it had, there were like
evened
6 votes or whatever, and it had evened out.
Because on Twitter, it was like 4-1. Now, granted, that's nothing, but I thought, this will trend my way. It's 4-1 so far.
So you're playing the long game. You were running the marathon, not the sprint.
So I check a little bit later, and I see, and at that point, it's like 60. It's about where it finished, right? In the 60s and 30s. And I was so mad, I personally tweeted at our own show.
Did you then reply to your tweet and say, I agree, Kyle?
It makes me so mad. I don't understand it.
I need you to tell what you told me via text about how your wife voted.
Oh, God. So I come home.
Is your wife? We got some open rooms here at the Friendship House.
Trying to find when we had that conversation. Oh, boy. Making fun of some people. Whew, boy, seems like we got a thing we normally do, huh?
Oh, that picture that you sent me.
I'm more proud of the caption or my descriptor than the picture, but yeah, that'll do. Boy, when did I text you?
It was... I think it was in the text with my brother.
Oh, that's right. Because that's another thing we're not going to have time for because Steve spent way too much time talking about baloney.
Sorry, you know me. I don't think we're going to get to the Fast Five again this week.
I can't believe it.
And I have the Elite Eight.
The Elite Eight.
And I'm getting to every single one of these once we finally get to it.
Yeah, because God forbid you have to cut some of your thoughts off. Because this group text with my brothers turned into...
By the way, where was Robert? Why isn't Robert in on this text?
I don't know. Should we add him?
I think we should.
Oh, I'm good.
Hey. Not nice. Not nice.
But I think
your
it's
brother.
I said, by the way, Katie voted yes on that, and I nearly served divorce papers before we even had dinner.
Look, you tell Katie that in just a couple of years, her and Reed are invited to Forrest Gump night here in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants. A 3-hour adventure in Steve's yard.
Now, what if I showed like a Spider-Man movie?
I'm good. I have them all in my house. I can watch them on my own big screen TV.
You never want any kind of different experience?
No, because if I want to watch Spider-Man, I don't want a bunch of kids running around throwing popsicles at each other.
But you know the plot already, so you don't really need to watch it.
That's not the point. If I'm watching it, I'm watching it. You know, if I went and saw the Avengers again in theaters right now for whatever reason, doesn't mean I'm okay with a bunch of yahoos yelling, screaming, and walking around during it.
Right, but it's more for the atmosphere.
I don't want the camaraderie. I don't. Camaraderie of kids throwing wiffle balls at my head and going, sorry.
Now, again, I bring up a question that I posed to you many weeks ago. I'm still yet to get an answer on it.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you made a friend? Like, go through your phone and find the most recent person in there.
I know who it is.
Who?
Guy at work. I haven't texted him yet.
Guy at work.
Well, his name's Lucas. Okay, good man. Real good man.
So this is somebody that you just met?
No, I've known him for a little bit. And I finally hit him up on Facebook Messenger to get his phone number because he got a different role, so I won't see him.
Sure.
I mean, I haven't texted him yet.
Okay.
But I would argue he's borderline acquaintance.
I need friend.
Ooh. Nope. Hell no. Boy, Steve, I got to tell you, let me see.
Safe to say it can be measured in years.
Yeah, I would argue, and he moved last year, but a friend that we played softball with, Ryan, who I worked with, he moved to St. Louis. I'd argue he's a friend. Not sure I've never seen him out of work, and he's in St. Louis now.
Shoot him a message right now.
What do you want me to say?
Are we friends?
Ooh, boy, that's a bit forward.
Because if he is a friend, he'll say, yeah, of course we're friends. What's wrong with you?
Outside of that.
So, one guy that was on our softball team.
Uh-huh. Who moved to St. Louis, and I've never hung out with him outside of... once outside of work, I met him. Or a guy who I got his phone number a month ago and haven't used it since.
Boy, it sounds like you guys are good friends.
But I'm good. I'm all set. I got my 2 dogs. I got my wife. I got my kid. I didn't have to worry about any of that yesterday. Steve, I didn't even get dressed yesterday. I walked around wearing the same pajama shirt and shorts that I was wearing when I woke up. Me and Reed spent the whole day together, had a conversation with him.
Are you going to encourage Reed to have friends?
Yeah, just don't bring them by me. Not interested. Yeah, Timmy, cool story about your family going to Spain. No, Reed, we're not. Dirt floors.
Eat your bologna.
Eat your bologna and be happy with what you have. Yes, I'll re-rubber band your sandal strap so your feet don't keep falling out. Because nobody wants
and
to...
the cycle continues. So you have no urge to break the cycle.
No, he can do whatever he wants. Again, just don't bring him around me.
Now, your brother Robert,
Yep.
not your brother Mike.
No.
Your brother Robert seems like he's a very social person.
Oh, he's the neighborhood. Everybody loves him. He talks to his neighbors. He hangs out with them.
Because we went to, I don't even know if we talked about it, but we went to Memorial Day, little weekend get together.
Yeah, the white trash bash.
The white trash bash at your brother's house. And I mean, we pulled up, and there must have been 50 people there in the driveway.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of it family, most of it family. But he tells me all the time he'll, walk over to his neighbors having a fire. Same with them. They'll come over if they need to, borrow anything or just chit chat. He knows all of them. That sounds miserable.
So I wonder what happened. How did that happen?
See, he's outside. Okay,
now what about your
though?
parents? I know that because your mom is a lovely person,
yep.
and she's very social
yep.
and fun to talk to. Your dad, more quiet.
Yep.
So it seems like you have picked up your dad's traits.
Yep.
Robert has picked up mom's traits.
Yeah, I think so, to a degree in terms of that. But yeah, they're the same. Like, no, they probably haven't, quote, added a friend in forever. But again, they're not, 20-somethings with young kids anymore either. But I think for my brother, and maybe it will change for me, but I'm never going to seek that out because it still sounds miserable. I sat in the front yard yesterday, or 2 days ago, Steve. No, it was yesterday. Just with Reed, put an umbrella in the yard because we, just sit outside. I was reading a book, and I've talked about it. 4th of July Christian rocker who's across the street from me, as well as divorced attitude. That's D-Dot. Christian rocker. Outside doing something in his garage. Don't care. D-Dot swings his truck into the driveway, pulls into the garage. Within seconds, Christian rock, 4th of July Christian rocker's there. He's walking over, they're chit-chatting.
Yeah.
And they're chit-chatting in D-Dot's garage. And this is where I realize this is the downfall of if this happens, becoming middle-aged dad with neighbor friends. Steve, simultaneously, they heard an airplane overhead.
Yeah.
And they both walked like 4 or 5 steps out into the driveway, put both hands over their eyes, and just looked up to look at this airplane. Like they'd never seen one in their lives.
I was outside at that exact time because I remember Annette and I were sitting out on the back deck.
Did you look up?
There was the low-flying airplane. Everybody was looking up at it. My neighbors, they were out in the backyard cleaning their pool, but I saw Joe stop and look up at it.
It's an airplane.
Yeah, I know, but it sounded lower than normal. I wanted to make sure there weren't like people hanging out the windows.
Oh, you were worried? You think you'd get some advance notice of it heading towards the cul-de-sac, do you?
Well, if it looked like it was in distress, I would have quickly joined the informed page again to let everyone know.
You think the Boeing 767... would just be slightly louder than normal if it was hurtling toward its demise in the woods.
This was a small private plane.
Okay, then that's not what I heard. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the one. Of course, I didn't look because I don't care because it's an airplane coming into the airport, which is again 12 miles away from us.
This is all. Now this is delving into like. You're a guy that doesn't look when there's an explosion because I
don't think that's cool. I'm just saying there's an airport 12 miles away from us both right now.
Right, but this plane was exceptionally low.
Oh my god.
And louder.
Maybe it's low on fuel, guys. Let's watch it.
All right, so cool guy Kyle doesn't.
It's not a cool guy. It's
Kyle
an airplane.
Walks away from explosions.
Now, if it's like a couple of big motorcycles coming down my road in the neighborhood, then I take a look and see, hey, wow, I don't remember really loud motorcycles coming down here.
Right.
But this was a passenger airplane coming into land
so
at the
cool.
international airport, which is a stone's throw from our houses. It doesn't make sense.
All right, look. I get it. You're too cool.
Yep, you get it.
To look at noises.
You know what? When you put it that way, I absolutely am. Huh. Had a hummingbird this morning? Hey.
So at any point...
Oh, lady birder. Is that a hummingbird?
So at any point did D-Dot and 4th of July Jesus Rocker walk over?
No.
Okay.
Didn't even look my way.
So you have laid down the law. They know. See, I think that if you want to remain the hermit that you are,
sure,
you're walking on thin ice by setting up camp in the front yard.
Yeah,
that's kind of inviting people to swing by.
Right.
You got to be careful with that.
It kind of is. Maybe, it's just easier.
Can you put up a privacy fence in the front yard?
I'll have to check township ordinances on that, but that's not a terrible idea.
Might have to put it like 6 feet back from the road, but I think you could get away with that.
No, I don't act like a jerk if somebody approaches or they want to talk.
How about a dome over the whole house?
Control that climate. Now you have my attention.
There you go. Like Pauly Shore, Biodome.
Yeah, Pauly Shore and one of the Baldwins.
Yeah, that one.
I don't act like a jerk or anything because like I told you a few weeks ago when I was out at the end of the driveway and the neighbor lady across the street, wife of 4th of July Christian rocker, wife of DC Talk, if you will, came across to tell me about the dogs next door who were using our yard to go to the bathroom and gave me the update that the crazy man was taken away in police car.
Boy, does that... we're going to have to put a pin in that because speaking of dogs using the bathroom... I got something I need to get to.
Oh, boy. Do we have time for all this, or should we start?
We do.
Should we start a list for next week that we'll ignore?
Absolutely not. We're getting to it, and we're going to be out.
We're doing it today.
We're going to be out at 1:40.
So, boy. Hope Reed's okay. Like 1:40 p.m.?
No. I mean... no.
Because we've done it before.
24 minutes.
We've done it before. Another hour and 40 minutes. Another hour and 40 minutes. We've done that before. I don't know how or why.
That seems terrible.
Listen, we've had to burn sandwich talk today.
So
we're putting a pin in my discussion about my neighbor interaction. How me
no, you can continue it. We're putting, but we need to get to
dogs using the bathroom or going to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's a big reason to stick with this podcast.
So I spoke with her for a few minutes. Nice enough. I had to go inside. I left Reed inside. I was going just out to bring the trash can up to the front of the house. She stopped me, so I had to go. And listen, the conversation was over. What else are we going to talk about? My mailbox is nice. Yes, it is. Thank you, neighbor.
Agreed.
Enjoy your house. I have nothing else to talk to you about.
I get that. There are some neighbors where the conversation is quick. It ends, and it's there doesn't need to be any more.
Right, and they're very nice. Mm-hmm. Every time I've interacted with them, they're nice. They're a little older than us. They have 2 or 3 kids. I don't know, a couple kids, handful of them. I think one's going into junior high or high school or something. Older. That's all I mean.
Maybe they're a pilot. Maybe they were flying the plane. That was
and maybe that's why they were looking. Oh, there's little Susie. Everybody wave hi, Susie. So that family and D-Dot, even if I was interested, it wouldn't happen, right? It's not like we're just going to go hunker. I'm not going over to join in their garage discussions about, I got this in my trailer. I heard those words yesterday. Right. Like, oh, in my trailer. Ugh.
Right.
Ugh.
You ignore the noise.
Yes.
As we've learned.
And the one side.
Explosions everywhere. Oh, God. Planes flying over.
Listen, I'll add it to the string of polls this week.
Kyle's walking towards the camera.
I'll
maybe with like a gun in one hand and a machete in the other.
Shirt's
on fire. He doesn't notice. He's cool guy Kyle. Cool guy Kyle doesn't look at explosions.
Do we want to add it to the string of polls? Do you look when an airplane lands?
No. Do you look when a low-flying airplane goes...
It low flying all you want. Low flying is like 3 more decibels.
No,
3 decibels louder than usual.
This was a small, tiny plane that could land at the little airport by the river.
See, we heard different ones then, because the one I had heard was definitely passenger plane jet.
That's what I'd say. If I was cool guy Kyle.
Oh, boy, I sure hope they make it.
Is that a Cessna? What's the wing number?
This is absolutely... I can't believe I'm talking to the guy who stops what he's doing. So if you're, let's say Bob was up here, you guys are.
Well, look,
hour 6 into Jeep End from last year. Your garage is open because you're hot. You're working away. You've got a couple of axles in your hand, maybe a window.
The two usually go hand in hand.
And you hear a slightly louder airplane than normal. Are you whipping those axles over your head and running out of the garage? Hey, Bob!
No.
Come look at the airplane!
Look, I'm gonna demonstrate to you the amount of investment that I had in this yesterday.
Sure.
Annette and I were sitting out back on the deck, sitting at the table. A plane flew overhead that sounded kind of loud. Here's what I did. I went from this position, where I'm talking to Annette, to this position. That was it. I slightly tilted my head back and looked up. But, as we've learned today, cool guy Kyle ain't got time for that.
Well, let me explain the difference, Steve. Because part of my issues with D-Dot and ACD or DC talk across the street.
ACDC talk.
ACDC talk. Likes to talk air conditioning and Christian rock. Across the street, they were in the garage. And they both walked out to look up.
I think that the part that is the craziest is not that it's not the airplane. It's not that they walked out. It's not that they put their hands over their eyes and looked up. It's that you noticed this and cared.
And it's not that I cared. It's just I do notice that. I notice it. Listen, it's me in the front yard in a chair. There's an umbrella right in front of me with my son underneath it. The only noise is these two jerks across the street in the garage talking about, again, air conditioning and Christian rock.
And low-flying planes.
And apparently low-flying planes. So I simply texted Katie and said, neighbor pulls into the driveway across the street. Other guy walks over in about 5 seconds. Airplane comes overhead. They both walk out to look at it. Never let me become this.
Boy, I think you do care. You sent that text. That shows that you care.
Yeah, but Katie sees that Katie knows that I think they're a bunch of weirdos. So I'm just keeping her abreast of the weirdo situation.
All right. I need you to take your headphones off for a minute.
Okay. Is this so I can't hear something?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're not right here.
Katie.
I wonder when I can come back.
I'll let you know. Don't worry. Katie, it's me, Steve.
Use another popsicle.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Katie, it's me, Steve. Next time we see you, if you need help, are you being held hostage? Are you being held against your will? If you are, tug on your right ear. Just tug on your earlobe. We'll get you out of there. Reed can come too. We got a spare room.
I have a drink too.
Hey, shh.
Sorry.
Not done yet.
Steve.
Katie, it's me, Steve. Still, you let us know. We'll get you out of there. We'll stop. We'll come over in the middle of the.
Getting a lot louder. You've gone from a whisper to sorry.
We'll come over middle of the night, bust you out of there. Kyle will never notice because he'll be too busy not looking at things because he doesn't care about noises, yet he seems to really care about them. So, you let us know. We'll get you out of there. All right. You got my number. All right. Okay. Bye. Okay. Hey. We're back. We're back. Yeah.
I mean, again,
hey, man.
Sound isolated booth, so I needed hand signals just to be able to tell that I could put my headphones back on.
No, you're good. Back in. So yeah.
So I told you that she voted. My wife Katie voted yes on the poll that she would come to Call the Zach movie night.
She's invited.
And I said I jumped with joy at that. That's a night alone. Oh, her and Reed. We're going to sit on stupid inflatable beanbag chairs or whatever seating's going to be here.
Oh, we're going to have bleachers. I'm going to build some bleachers.
Boy, comfortable. Comparable to my recliner or my couch. And I said, you go, honey. Please. Go show Reed that.
So she wants to have friends. She wants to make neighbor friends?
Whatever.
Does she? Is that...
I don't know if she does, but she's okay with it. But again, so I was in the midst of listing to you, the one we've had to call the police on. Obviously, that's not going to happen.
Right,
The two across the street, older.
Let it be known, I'm not
Oh,
pro.
sure.
I'm not pro friends with every neighbor.
Yeah, no. And the two across the street are older. One's a divorced dad with two kids.
Yeah, D-Dot.
And the other one,
Names
like
in
I
the
said,
title.
older children. So really, there's the family behind us who built the pole barn shed,
They did.
which is fine.
And
Again,
they're
that's
now
fine.
turning their backyard into concrete.
Yeah, now there's like a half basketball court back there, a pole barn, an in-ground swimming pool.
It sounds great.
It does. You don't have to worry about mowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a party palace essentially for all the kids can bring all their friends over, jump in the pool, play basketball, whatever. But I'll talk to him, not like go around because we don't have a door in our fence. We're not you from the 80s.
That was great.
We
Hopkins house right behind us, just boop, right through the gate.
we've got that tall privacy fence. So even if I'm in the yard, I can't see him through these slats. So when I'm on my deck, either going to get the dogs or doing something, and he's out and about, I'll absolutely say hello because he's a big Michigan State Steve fan, massive Michigan State Steve
Love
fan.
the Steves.
And we'll chat. Him and his dad. Don't know his name.
Hey, what do you think of Izzo and the boys?
That's what we'll do. Football season, you will usually catch up on Sundays. It was easier last week when they were on their 3-month pole barn build. I'd see them out every Sunday, and we'd be able to catch up.
So is it out of the question? You're out there. You have a brief little interaction, couple back and forths, and maybe it's a football Saturday in the fall.
Sure.
Do you then walk back in? But before you walk back in, go green.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and that's during football season or basketball season this year when the Michigan State Steves made the Final Four. Go out there and see them, and if it, maybe not a hello, I'd flip the burgers, whatever on the grill. I'd go yell, "Hey, go green!" Wave, yell, "Go white!"
Now, what if he?
And
were
as
to
he
say,
chimes in with, "Yeah, did you see this?" And I slowly shut the slider so I don't have to hear anymore.
So if he were to say, "Come on over, burgers on the grill, games on TV."
Nope, always got something to do. Got to take my shower yet. We're just about to eat dinner. Got to go to bed on time. Kids here on the live. Got to take care of him.
So you always have like a quiver full of excuses ready to go at any time for any reason.
Now, if I'm out back,
hey, do you guys want to go to the movies tonight?
no.
Okay, so with me, you're not even trying.
Oh, with you, I'd
Yeah.
go to the. I'd go to the movies with you guys.
Right. But if
he asked,
if I'm say I'm one-eared Herman,
yeah. I don't want to be seen out in public with one ear. I don't know why he talks like that. Is it because of one ear?
yeah,
he can't hear himself.
Yeah, he has a look. There are a lot of issues.
Poor Herman. Now, if he said while he's working on the shed or whatever, or out back cleaning up because he's still doing landscaping, and we're talking, I want you to come over and to have beer. I'd probably do that. I'd probably walk all the way around.
Yeah, you'd have to go around the block. See, but
I might drive.
If you put in that gate.
Oh, never.
What about a gate where you could go into his yard, but it's like a one-way gate?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't need that. I'm never going over there.
What about that time you want to go over and get a beer?
Yeah, because I'm not going to walk all the way around. Because we live,
Do you have you have an A-frame ladder?
Just go over the top.
Right over the fence.
I'm coming.
Oh, wait a minute. Since your deck is up higher,
Zip line?
zip line into the pool.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Now we have in the winter,
Dude,
you just cut the zip line a little early.
I swear, if that was my house and your house, say my house is your house and then your house is the pool house.
Sure.
We would build a zip line.
Oh, there's no doubt.
That would be the greatest thing that I think ever existed.
Man, that's the dream right there. 6 years away, Steve. Pool Steve's alive and well.
2024, right?
2024, we're digging out that hole because you're not paying for it. Digging out the in-ground pool.
I don't know where we do
building the zip line. Yeah. Hey, you got 6 years to figure it out. 5 years.
And there are big changes coming to the neighborhood, as I told you about last week. Neighbor across the street, the dumpster house, the for sale sign went up.
Yep.
Cindy next door, we talked to her. For sale signs going up there in just a matter of weeks. So, yes, we are responsible for half of the cul-de-sac moving out since we moved in.
Again,
that's okay.
Now, did I mention that as maybe that's a sign? Absolutely.
So, last week I was outside cutting the grass, and across the street. There were a bunch of cars in the driveway. And I assumed, okay, more people are looking at the house. Because in the last week and a half, we've seen a bunch of people come and go. And so I was just getting ready to fire up the mower when a woman walked out of the house across the street, walked down the driveway. She had 2 kids with her, and walked directly across the street right over to our house. She made a beeline. Made a beeline for our house.
It's already needy.
So I was standing in the driveway, and I just exchanged pleasantries with her, and I said, so how's the house look? Assuming that she's there to buy the place, there to look at it. She said, it's great. We're getting our inspection right now. So in like 3 days, they had looked at the house, put in an offer, it was accepted, and they were already getting their inspection.
That's
quick.
a quick turnaround.
That's quick. So I met my new neighbor. They'll be in here by the end of July.
Minivan.
Kristen and Justin will be moving in.
Good God. Couple of kids.
2 kids, 9-year-old. And the other one is probably 5, 6. We've already had conversations about, oh, yeah, we got a baby on the way. Oh, perfect. Well, we got your babysitter right here. Oh, yeah.
So older kid.
Older kid, yeah.
Get an age estimate on that, or?
Yep, like I just said, 9 years old, and
I mean,
5 or 6.
Listen, I tuned out when you said neighbor came down the driveway. Checking the clock. Hoping
may have just mentioned it 1 second ago. That was like last week with the party in November. Yep, this summer.
I'm telling you, I'm just waiting for this portion to end where you talk about hobnobbing with the neighbors.
So they're lovely people. They complimented us on
not on the lawn.
On the windows that we've had installed.
God, that seems like a joyous conversation. Where'd you get those? The window store? Oh, double pane? Yeah. Crank window? Nah. What else? What is there to talk about that's interesting about your windows?
Well, they just complimented them.
I'd rather talk about the size of our driveway.
They said they look nice.
Oh,
so,
God.
But, okay, so add this to the list of things that cool guy Kyle can't talk about.
Does anybody want to chat about their windows to neighbors?
It's not a chat. It's an acknowledgement.
6 seconds too long.
So if you pull up here next week and you got a brand new car, can I say, hey, like the car?
Oh, because we're friends and we would
this is how friendships develop. This is how relationships begin.
If you ask
how normal people communicate.
If you ask me, hey, nice car, where'd you get it? I'd say that where I got it, and I'd tell you a little bit about the car. If I ask
That's exactly what we did.
Who cares where you got windows?
Who cares where you got a car?
Yes, it's just ridiculous. Oh, yeah. Oh, can I go test the structural integrity of that bay window? You get dinged on custom sizes there or no? For God's sake, I'd rather have a conversation with the last lady, the one on her way to the retirement home, about how much the dumpster rental cost. So stupid.
Okay,
so that's great. So Kristen and Justin.
So you can't
a couple of kids. Now you said a couple of kids.
So you can't have a conversation with people unless you're friends with them. But you can't become friends with them unless you talk to them.
I don't know,
it's a chicken or the egg scenario here.
So Kristen goes, I like your windows. Do you go, I like your shoes? I mean, where do you go?
I said, thank you. Like a normal person does.
Oh, your mailbox looked cool. You're going to keep it? What do you think about trees in that front yard?
Again.
Yeah, me too.
Again. You can't pinpoint the last time you made a friend.
Steve, it may be you.
That's been a decade.
It's been 9 years.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Whew.
Well, I thought we were going to make it to 140, but I don't think we are. I don't think we are at all. No, in fact, let's just...
Hang on. So to recap, I missed one of our poll questions. I got popsicle or creamsicle.
Yeah.
Rectangle or triangle sandwich cut.
Uh-huh.
What was the third one?
Bologna.
Oh, bologna, yes or no?
Oh, yeah, Team Bologna, yes or no.
Team Bologna, okay. Those are all up now at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter. Instagram. You can find us there. The polls will be on Twitter and Facebook. Please vote on those. Love to see the interactions on those, and we'll talk about those next week.
Boy, this was...
I didn't even get to finish the story about Katie and the neighbor.
Quick, you got about 30 seconds. No, just wrap it up right now. Put a little bow on it.
Yeah, she talked to him.
So you think that she's coming over to the dark side being the normal side, and you actually being on the dark side.
It's the one side, though, that I'd be more okay with it because it's a younger couple our age with a kid that's maybe 2 years old, maybe.
Okay.
And a newborn that's a couple months younger than Reed.
You're going to be watching games in his man cave come fall.
Steve, if this guy watches a game of any sort, it's going to be like televised Dungeons and Dragons. Not there for that.
Cool guy Kyle doesn't have time to look at airplanes. Cool guy Kyle walks away from explosions.
Did you have to pull up your compression socks after flipping up your shade to check out the airplane yesterday? You're so close to socks with sandals, Dad Steve.
I can't wait. It's going to be such a transition come September. You can download, subscribe, and review the show in iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, and Spotify. Call or text your questions, comments, or concerns.
Did you mention iHeart?
Oh, iHeart as well.
We're literally everywhere now. iHeartRadio.
Radio.com or something.
Yeah, we're on radio.com. Anywhere. If there's somewhere that our podcast isn't, it shouldn't be that way. Let us know. We are on every avenue possible.
Somebody's going to be like, well, what about Squirrelcast? You're not on Squirrelcast. You can call or text your comments, your questions, or concerns, 424-30-SK-POD. That's 424-307-5763 at Steve and Kyle on all social media. And we will talk to you next week.